Hey everybody, welcome to another review video. I am so sorry if the lighting in this looks a little weird. I'm using flashlights right now, and that's because the power went out at my place. There was a big storm and a tree hit the power line, and now the power is out. But I'm making it work. So there's flashlights on both sides, so I'm making this work. But I wanted to get this review out to you guys as soon as possible. So I just got back from the new Star Wars movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu. And I'm gonna sit here and just get my honest thoughts on it because that's what I do. So this is a review. I'm actually not gonna spoil. I'm gonna give you one spoiler. There are no big cameos from characters from the past or in Star Wars or anything. Just don't go into this expecting big cameos. There are like one or two name drops, but they're not really like a character. I don't know, but no big cameos. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. Mandalorian and Grogu. Was it good? Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I liked it a lot. I was very entertained throughout the entire thing. However, this Star Wars movie had two. It kind of fell into two problems. One, the overuse of CGI. Now, I did see the behind the scenes, and they did say that they did build sets for this, like really big sets. It's just a shame that the sets looked so bogged down by CGI that it almost looked like Mando was in front of a green screen and he never did any of the acting. And it kind of reminded me of the prequels. Like, the prequels, they built sets and they use CG for the rest. Obviously, the CG is better than the prequels. Actually, maybe not episode 3. But it just, I don't know. I'm sorry if you guys see the rain outside. But it was bogged down a little bit. So, like, even the physical sets that you could see the actors interacting with, you could tell were just bogged down by the CGI. And I was a little disappointed with that. And my second problem with the film was the fact that this film falls under the category of go, feed you stuff, fix this problem to get to the next problem, but then something else happens, and then this happens. This film falls under that category really hard. I hate it. I know Star Wars is like that, and I know Star Wars has been like, here's this, here's that, there's that, but like, we're so used to like what the main Star Wars is, the Force, everything like that, Jedi, vroom, vroom, and occasional background side plot. This one just... It followed a basic story. Another spoiler, the Empire actually really does not play a role in this movie. It does for the first, 20 minutes, and then after that, they make brief cameos and brief mentions. It's mainly, again, I said no spoilers, but whatever. It's mainly the Hutt. It is mainly the Hutt crime family that plays the big role. It is not the Empire. So just let you know, it is not the Empire. Like I said, first 20 minutes they play a big role. Besides that, they're just kicked to the curb. Like they got picked last in dodgeball. But anyway, so yeah, I had a little bit of a problem with that. As much as it was cool to focus on a gangster family, at the same time I was like, the movie for this heavily, they both heavily marketed the Hutts in the Empire, but it seemed like the Empire had a much bigger role, even though in the movie they kind of don't. Not gonna get into that, but I thought the movie was good. No, I was off track. But yeah, it just keeps throwing stuff at you, saying, here's this, here's this, here's this. Oh, they solved this, but then there's this problem. It just, I was entertained. I did like it. It was about a lot of action, some good storytelling. And I'm going to admit this, there was a few scenes, I'm not going to spoil which, there was a few scenes there that made me sit back and kind of tear up because it brought back some good nostalgia. But, besides that, it's just kind of it was honestly more go than storytelling, which I was okay with. I just found a little disappointing because I'm like, well, how does this really tie into what is going on in the storyline? And it just kind of doesn't, I don't know. It just kind of doesn't. A big compliment I will give is Ludwig Göransson's score for the movie. He composed the music for the movie. That score was amazing. The score was beautiful. It had used some unique instruments. I loved it. That score, beautiful. I did see it in IMAX 3D, the 3D. So some of the CGI, even though it was overused, the 3D effects look great on it. So just compliment to that. Yes, some of the acting was great. I will say there were some scenes in this movie that I was just that's, acting's a little stale and a little stiff, especially the opening. If you see it, you'll know. But whatever. Yeah, Mandalorian and Grogu. Where does this land on the sharpness scale? There was a few things I was disappointed with. So you know what? This is a little sad for me to say for a Star Wars film. I like anything Star Wars, even though sometimes it sucks. Acolyte, but Book of Boba Fett. I'm gonna have to give this a 65. A 65 on the sharpness scale. Decently sharp. Can cut some things, not all things. I remember it. Just I don't know if I'm gonna in the morning. I mean, I don't know. So yeah, 65% for the Mandalorian and Grogu. That's about it. Adios.